Before we continue with the panels, every single Crypto Finance Forum edition, I like to take the time also to reflect a little bit on the journey, on where we are as an industry and where we're going, and reflect also how this impacts Cryptio and how we think about the product that we are building. Also, we are in the trenches like most of the year with a lot of people in the room, and so I think it's good to take a little bit of time and see where we are. So the context have been discussed quite a lot this morning, and will continue to be discussed this afternoon. Capital markets are moving on chain. On one side, there's a regulatory clarity that is enabling this to happen. We're seeing a lot of activities, obviously, in stablecoin, financialization of Bitcoin. We're going to have an amazing session on that topic right after, and tokenizations of established asset classes. That's the context. We all know the context, and actually, we're not here to talk about this changing regulation, and we're not here to talk about exactly what is happening. What I want to talk about today, it's your business. And the growth of your business, and also like how can we learn from what happened in the last 7-8 years we've been in the business, and how can we move towards all together in the right direction. So we're here to talk about this today, and to start with, let's start by reflecting on this journey. So we are very fortunate enough to work with both companies on the institutional side and others on the retail side. And if we're looking at what the journey looked like so far, starting with the institutional side, we can see that there is a journey where starting from single product offering or very simple set of products, and increasingly going to more and more complexity, starting with custody, adding brokerage, OTC, maybe credit and margin, derivatives. We talked about lending this morning. And this is basically all these institutional players are embarked in this journey of building a full service digital asset solution business. And on the retail side, we're seeing the same thing. It's not necessarily the same products, but it's the same journey, it's the same direction, starting with custody, brokerage, spot trading, and adding more products like staking, again, derivatives. Now with the rise of stablecoin and the increasing regulation in stablecoin, a lot of credit cards and payment tools being added on top of these products, and a lot of these retail products are all moving into that direction of building the everything app. And these two journeys, both on the institutional and retail side, they really share the same challenge around like scaling complexity. Every product expansion, every new product launch that you're doing adds new layers of complexity behind the scenes, especially obviously in a back office and operation perspective. If we're just looking at now in 2025, and we're looking at a set of these products and the operational challenges that go with them, looking at tokenization and stablecoin, for instance, now with Genius Act and other regulation in other parts of the world, you need to reconcile your reserve and the supply nearly in real time. So this comes with a lot of complexities in a data perspective, operation perspective. Talked about the challenges around crypto-backed lending this morning. With brokerage, there is a lot of complexity in a data perspective around reconciliation, as well as segregating corporate assets, client assets. So all of this represents really a lot of challenges in an operational perspective, in a back office perspective. And obviously, as these businesses, as you guys have been adding more and more of these product lines, part of your full product offering, we are seeing like what worked yesterday is not necessarily the system and the processes that will work tomorrow. And obviously especially for crypto native folks, people that have been in the space for a very long time, when they started, obviously there's no other choice than building internal tools and building a lot of manual processes around your back office operations. But this is difficult. This has been proven difficult to scale, and every time that you're adding a new product line, it's proven to be more and more difficult. So obviously, this is where Cryptio comes in, and both on the institutional and retail side. So as I mentioned, we've been fortunate enough to be working with companies on both sides of things. For 7 years, we've powered the back office behind every growth stage. Like the markets is going through a lot of different stages, and in the last year, it feels that there's like really a lot of things have accelerated. And in this last 7 years, working with all of these different companies, starting with the dark age of ICO companies and really focusing on basic accounting capabilities, we've made the product evolve through different generations of products. And last year, during the CFF, we announced Bedrock, which was a new generation of, like a new vision for this product, exclusively focused on regulated enterprise, again, both from retail and institutional side. And what we can see is that this next era of digital assets with more and more products, more and more complexity, really demands a broader and deeper suite of purpose-built products, right? And so, which is why this year I'm very excited to announce this new evolution of our product into this multi-application platform. And we're gonna just have a look at what it looks like. Shout out to the marketing team. They're also behind the event, so I think we have one of the coolest marketing team in crypto, and they decided to work for an accounting product. So, but that's lucky me, I guess. So, yeah, very happy to introduce this new like multi-application platform and this vision. And so, what it is today, it's like 3 applications. We have 3 products. One that is our historic products that we've been building for like the last 6 or 7 years. And this year we've released 2 products that we're going to talk about today: tokenization, compliance, and loan management system. And all of these 3 different applications, the reason why they all live under the same roof is because they're all built on top of this data layer. And what is this data layer? This data layer is what we've been building since we started the company. It's the first line of code that's been written. It's this ability to ingest and collect data everywhere. So every single data point related to the digital asset side of your business, we can collect it from obviously blockchains, exchanges, custodians, internal system, or any type of system. And so we're basically building this unique system of records where we collect, normalize, and aggregate every single data point that you have in your business. And we've been doing so historically really for accounting purposes, to feed our accounting application. And so if we're looking then on the application side, on the accounting front, so you're familiar with the core, I think some of you are familiar with the core logic of this accounting application, which is feeding, automating financial data, like financial statement generation and feeding ledger entries data to ERP and accounting system. This year, in the last 12 months, we went pretty deep into regulated enterprise use cases and added some pretty cool feature to this accounting product. So let's have a look at it, what it looks like. There's 3 of them. The first one is multi-inventory system. Second one is derivatives, and the third one is dimensional reporting. For multi-inventory system, as we've been working more and more with like broker-dealers and regulated enterprise across their institutional and retail side, we see that regulation requires companies to segregate commingled activities for reporting. You need to segregate customer assets from your own treasury assets. You need to segregate everything related to customer operation to other part of the business. And the difficulty is that these assets could be commingled within wallets or exchange accounts or part of like an internal system. And so what this multi-inventory feature is doing, it's basically enabling you to create virtual inventories on top of the wallet architecture that you have today. You don't need to change everything. You can, if today assets are commingled within, for instance, omnibus accounts, you can stay that way, but you can build these virtual inventories on top. And so in this example, which is more like a OTC brokerage example, you can split, you can create these different views where you have on one side everything related to customer assets, on the other side of the spectrum you have everything related to your corporate assets, and then you can bring into one single inventory everything that is related to the OTC operations, which means all the settlements that you're doing with customers as well as the back-to-back trades. And for every single inventory, you can run specific cost basis methodology. So you can do, for instance, like spec ID, part of like the client operation inventory. So long story short, you can go pretty deep into how complex how complex you want this sort of like inventory management to be run. So that's multi-inventory. And so obviously it's unlocking accounting capabilities for a lot of different types of businesses. And the second part of these accounting product is derivatives. That's a big new thing that we added this year. We now support derivatives across all major exchanges that we support, which means futures, perps, options. We doing the full, obviously, all the end-to-end mark-to-market accounting and how this connects with the revaluation process. All of this is being covered. All the exchanges supported are the one listed below. The third part in the new builds part of the accounting product is dimensional reporting. So here, obviously our customers are increasingly more complex. They have more entities. They have a lot of different product lines, and also kind of every single business is unique on how they report, what they report, and how they want to slice and dice and like report on their data. And so this is when the dimensional reporting comes in, and basically this is the idea that Cryptio is able to ingest every single dimension that exists in your system. Again, it could be entities, it could be product lines, it could be whatever, and then you're able within Cryptio in-app as well as on the report and export side of things, you're able to basically turn and present that data through these different dimensions. So especially trial balance, asset hold forward, you can basically have like sort of pivot tables on steroid, in both within the app and within the reports that you're consuming, and also within the ledger entries that you're pushing to your accounting system. So with these 3 main new addition to our like accounting product, we're starting to have a more complete and also deeper offering for really end-to-end back office and accounting for these like regulated enterprise use cases. That's the accounting side. Now the new products. So this year it's been like a very important evolution in the story of the company, where we moved from being this like single product, very focused on accounting, to then building more products. And again, the reason why we've built these new applications is a lot of our customers were telling us, hey, now that we capturing all this data related to our operations, like, why don't we build an application or a process to solve that specific part of our business or this specific part of our business, and how can we onboard the operation team, the engineering team, the compliance team, the risk management team, so that we can also solve problems for them. And so this is like, in this context that these new products comes in. Tokenization compliance, the context is obviously the regulatory environment and how it evolves. It requires companies to change how they've been doing things. So for stablecoin issuers that have been running these stablecoin attestation, a lot of them have been doing this very, very manually and on a quarterly basis or monthly basis. And so what we're going to see is that the direction, obviously, is with these new regulatory frameworks, is that you will need to come closer to being able to do these reconciliation daily. And that's basically what the tokenization compliance product is able to do. It's able to establish this confidence that you need with independently verified token supply data and reconciliation. So the way it works is that we're leveraging our on-chain data capabilities that we've been developing for like 7 years now. We can read every single piece of information that is related to your token activity. The token could be a stable coin, it could be any form of like tokenized asset. We'll track every single mint burn that happened with your token. And we will reconcile that supply data that we get from our own data infrastructure. We will reconcile this with your internal data. And that way you can automate that reconciliation and stablecoin attestation products. You have obviously some resolution sort of workflows, part of the applications that lets you identify when we identify a break, if our token supply is different than the numbers that you have in your internal system, you're able to automate how you visualize these breaks and how you can investigate these breaks. We also include some stuff around like more custom things that we seeing across like these different issuers, where if you have, for instance, assets that are sort of pre-minted assets that live in a treasury wallet that have to be removed from the overall like supply reconciliation, the product is able to do these type of thing. And so we're very fortunate to be doing this with a few large players, including Circle. We've been a very like an amazing partner to build that product, and we think that this reconciliation primitive is a very important, very foundational primitive for like the tokenization market to grow. How you can build confidence on reconciling everything that's happening on chain with stuff that is happening off chain. That's tokenization compliance. And the third product is the loan management system. So obviously the fact that we're organizing some sessions around crypto lending is because we're interested in crypto lending, like intellectually, but also as a business. We are seeing across our customers, especially same thing on both sides, institutional and retail, that their crypto lending book and activity has been really growing in the last few months. And the same problems that we saw like a few years ago around accounting teams trying to run everything in spreadsheet, we're seeing it again with this crypto lending business, and especially obviously on the accounting and reconciliation side of things. So with our new loan management system, the idea is to basically tackle these three main core problems, operational problems related to businesses that are lending crypto loan activity. The first one is being able to track the entire loan lifecycle management, the entire loan lifecycle, and building all the management tools around this. The second pillar is collateral management, and the third pillar is the accounting and reconciliation. The So the way the product works is, on one side, if you're looking at the bottom, same thing, we're still leveraging this data layer, so we'll track all the collateral tracking and we'll track all the payments and everything from your wallets, your custodian, your internal system, and we'll basically reconcile the entire transactional activity. On the other side, we'll ingest all the loan agreement documents and generate all the accounting data, accrual data that is needed to streamline accounting, and then we will build a lot of the like operational dashboards around like collateral management and so on. And yeah, and it looks like that. The idea and the vision is really to be able to coordinate like the front office, the middle office, the back office for seamless lending operation. To start with, we're doing what we do best, which is focusing on accounting, reconciliation, reconciling, again, your loan records and term sheets with all the transactions and generate all the accounting events. But as we go, we want to really have a full streamlined solution where you can really operate your entire crypto lending activity on this product. And even if you look a little bit beyond and how this type of initiatives grows is we basically eventually will end up connecting the borrowers and the borrowing side and the lending side. And by today working with both of the side of the marketplace and being this like tracking and operational product that they leverage to automate the activity, at the end of the day, you can also build this sort of like shared data layer, trusted data layer that can enable more interesting use cases around like CLOs, and you can also help on the borrowing side, like you can help these people to have access to capital and do some of the things at scale that Dhruv was mentioning this morning. So there's a lot of very interesting thing in a market perspective that we can do with this product, and we're very, very excited about what's to come. And that's it. That's the Cryptio, the new suite of application. If you guys are obviously interested in any of these topics and products, I'm sure that you've noticed that there are a few Cryptio people in the room, and yeah, we're very excited about what's to come, and we're very excited to go very deep into these different products, but also hear from you what are the other types of applications that you think could make sense to build on top of this unique data layer. You can scan that QR code, you can send me an email, you can come to me or any people in the Cryptio team, and yeah, thank you very much.